Hello, hello, hello. I'm in my garden with my two roses. I already picked the big, huge off-white rose today. I ate some of it, and there is another bud that is about to open now. And it is awesome. And I think this one, this very light blue purplish one, is gonna get more buds as well. And that is just so wonderful. There's the birch tree. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And all the trees are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's wonderful. I absolutely love it. I have very deep appreciation for all of those existences out here. And it feels really good to be out here right now. This is the perfect time, like in the afternoon. And I found myself a secluded place right here where the neighbors can't watch me, and if I speak quietly they probably don't hear what I say. And then the neighbors over on that side far away, and there's only one specific place in the fence where they can see what I'm doing, but that's far enough away, so that's good. So I will use this spot here. This is really fantastic. So I'm gonna do a foot massage with Dr. Hauschka. This is my favorite body lotion from Dr. Hauschka. It's Lavender Sandalwood Calming Body Cream. And it is fantastic. It is made in Bad Boll, Eckwelden, Germany. This and Veleda, these two, they're owned by Veleda now. They have the same procedure, the same orchard gardening, the same harvesting procedures, the same preservation techniques, which are based on Rudolf Steiner's rhythmic, life-giving, energy-giving preservation technique that is completely free from any kind of chemical, any kind of preservative. There's no chemical that is produced in a laboratory in this. This is all natural ingredients. And even though this is an emulsion, which is water-based, I personally don't work with water because then it doesn't last very long. I had bad experiences in the past. So, and I don't know how to use the rhythmic energy preservation technique from Rudolf Steiner. So, but they have this very specific way of keeping the essences with an indefinite shelf life, and it's magical. It's esoteric. It's metaphysical how they make it. They give this an infinite energy. It's so incredibly nice, and it smells fantastic, and it is the best. And I'm not sponsored by any company. I'm promoting this because it is making the world a better place. It's helping the planet. So I'm gonna put this tablet here, and I'm squeezing out an amount of cream, and it is nice. Yes, it's very creamy. Very creamy. I wish you could smell this. It smells so good. Oh, it smells heavenly. Absolutely heavenly. Heavenly. So, and I'm gonna give myself a foot massage, and I want to inspire all of you to give yourselves foot massages. I think this is very important, men or women, it doesn't matter. It's not gonna make the men girly, okay? It's gonna make you feel better. That's what it's gonna do. And also, like, a lot of people complain about having insomnia. You know, I see so many people with insomnia and anxiety. So this is a very, very simple technique in the evenings to make yourself more relaxed and feel better and more sleepy. And I highly recommend to you to buy Dr. Hauschka and Lavender. And you can buy them on the internet. You can get. I'm making a video right now, so I'm in the middle of making a video. I don't know, but he wants to show me something. So yeah, these two products. You can also make your own creams, but most people don't have the time to do that. So that's why I recommend, for anyone who's busy or works or doesn't know how to get access to all these different ingredients, which, you have to, if you make your own creams, you have to become your own scientist. You have to put a lot of time and effort into making this and into thinking about how to make it and into testing things on yourself and how the cream comes out and the consistency and all of it. So that's why, for people who don't have time, Dr. Hauschka and Veleda. This is how it looks like. They are the best. They are the best cosmetic companies in the world. Okay. And they will make you feel better. And the smell is gonna really relax your nerves and will help you sleep at night. And I think this is very important, very, very important that we do this. And it doesn't require, you to take any kind of medication. The doctor is gonna be very quick to prescribe very toxic things to you because he gets kickbacks from the pharmaceutical industry for this. It's really, it is a white collar drug pusher. Okay? So most physicians, whether they know it or not, some don't care. They know that it is like this and they do it anyway. And many don't know. They think they're just doing what they learned, but they never questioned what they learned. Most people don't question. I've had a conversation with a gynecologist long time in Berlin when I was studying psychology. I had a cyst that was growing at the fallopian tube, and it was causing me pain, and it was causing me to have shivers, so I knew I had an infection. I went to the hospital there. I had it checked. Yeah, it was a cyst, and so I had to take antibiotics, and that's what they do. That's the only thing they know how to do. So then I had a conversation with that gynecologist, and I was 24, 25 at that time, and he was like, I don't know, in his 30s or 40s, something. And, I expected a little bit more knowledge from him. But, I mean, that was a very bizarre conversation and very unexpected. When I talk to a physician, someone who studied medicine for 8 years at the university, I expected that he will put his mind into this and he will try to figure out what is this all about, and are there deeper reasons, and what are all the causalities that are involved in the different pathologies or in whatever symptoms people have. And I might set this up a little bit higher. I don't know if this will work. Okay. And so I asked him, don't you think, I said something, I already hinted at what I was thinking myself. I said, don't you think this has a lot to do with stress, like psychological stress? And this is such a simple causality that one should very easily figure out. And he gave me an answer, and then it was a very mechanical answer that was just simply from the medical textbooks, the Merck manual, whatever he learned. It's like, this is what's happening, and this is, and da 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 da. But he didn't answer my question. What is the actual root cause that caused this cyst to grow? So, and I said, don't you think it has to do with a lot of stress? Because I was under a lot of stress at that time, with the statistics exams, and my boyfriend had to be hospitalized. He was psychotic, and so many things. I was living alone in Berlin, away from my family, and didn't have very many friends, and I didn't meet people outside of the school. And then he gave me the exact same answer again, like kind of like a pre-programmed machine, like a chatbot, like he was just repeating again exactly the same thing that he had already said. And it was obvious that I wasn't happy with that answer, and that I wanted to dig a little bit deeper into it. And what I really wanted was a little empathy and understanding, and maybe him prescribing me like 12 massages, that would be paid by my medical insurance, because in Germany they're a little bit more advanced in that way. So they would have covered that. And I needed it so much, And I just wanted a little bit more holistic understanding and compassion and friendliness and warmth. And none of this was there. There was just this mechanistic response. Almost felt like he was uptight, he was afraid or something. He needed to, almost like in retrospect looking at it, I feel like he was nervous, or he wanted to impress, or he wanted to show off his medical knowledge. But it did exactly the opposite, because that's not much medical knowledge, just to blindly repeat what any kind of textbook has written, I don't know, 20 or 30 years even before that. So that's not progressive thinking. That's not thinking forward. That's very stagnated. I want people to think forward, and it was quite eye-opening for me to see that this guy who had studied gynecology, in particular, had a doctorate's degree in medicine and specialized in gynecology, that I expected more knowledge. I expected also more of an interest to dive into it, in order to, like, coming from a mindset of, I really want to help these people. What is actually his motive for becoming a gynecologist? So I'm left with more questions than I initially had. And so it's all of these experiences in my life that leave me, that I started out with one question and that leave me with 100 questions. Now I have thousands of questions, thousands of unanswered questions because people don't want to answer. They don't even want to ask these questions themselves. Society, they don't want to ask any of these questions that dig deeper into things. And it's so simple. When we have stress, our immune system, they can't cope with all of that stress, so they go into self-preservation modes, and they actually the the body actually sheds out hormones and chemicals that actually inhibit the function of the immune response in order to protect itself from something else, from some kind of imagined predator. It's like a fight or flight type of response. When you go into a fight or flight mode, that is the stress, that's the psychological stress. It can be caused by university, but the body still thinks there's a predator out there because that's how we have evolved. Going to a university, that's something that really has unfolded only in a very short time frame, in respect to our ape evolution. So that is just all of these things that have to do with civilization and schools and agriculture. That is a very short time span in comparison to the entire evolutional scale. So the body still has its fight or flight mechanisms. It doesn't know how to differentiate between this is stress caused by university pressure versus a predator that's coming at us. So the response is still the same. The biochemical response is still the same. This is very helpful to do this. Very, very helpful. I wax my legs, but there are still some individual hairs sticking out. But I don't have a lot of body hair, thank goodness. I just have very, very, very fine hair. Fine and little hairs on the legs. But I still don't want hair on my legs. So I wax that off as much as I can. Or pluck that off with my fingers. But it's okay. It's not such a biggie. It doesn't look too bad. So this is number one body relaxing method to at least give oneself a leg massage and foot massage like this. So it would be better to have someone else to do it, someone without an agenda. That would be really nice. Went to a foot massage place once, and there was a guy doing it, and he did it obviously because he had an agenda. That's why he did it in the first place, that job. They kicked him out later on. And it was not a very wonderful, relaxing experience because it was pretty obvious. the whole thing, and it's not nice. It doesn't feel good. So it's not nice when we want to relax and we go to a place and the person has an agenda, whether it's lust or greed or I don't know what else. They might, you know, kind of fetish or whatever agendas people have. It's usually lust based. So one time I went to a spa. There was this Korean lady and she netted my breast. That was completely unnecessary. I didn't want her to do it, and it hurt. And I felt like there was some kind of sadisticness in it. And she was also bisexual or gay, and that's not the problem. The problem is that again the other agenda, and then on top of it some power thing, or they want to feel power, so they will hurt someone, and they'll just say, oh, it was just my way of doing this type of massage, this type of Korean massage. They'll blame it on that, but they'll go so far with it that it will hurt, but not too far where the client could actually say something and say, oh, wait a minute, you did this deliberately. And they'll go, no, this is just part of the particular massage. No, thank you. I never went back to that place. It's awful. So the safest thing is to give yourself a leg massage. Or if you really trust someone, if you have a really good friend, so you can give each other massages. And we did that. We girls did that at the university, and that was nice. And then I had a lady at the center in LA, and we gave each other massages. That was nice, without any kind of agenda. So that was nice. We want to relax, that's what matters. It's good to have a real close, good friend. But I know that most people don't really have really close, good friends that they can trust. And I feel terribly sorry for them for that. They feel alienated from others. It's not really a trusting, loving relationship. It's more like a utilitarian relationship in most cases. And it makes me very sad to see that. Yeah. I'm not putting down lust. I'm just saying when you want to relax, you don't want to deal with that kind of stuff. You really want to relax, and you just want to lean back and feel good and be really relaxed, and work to the point where you can fall asleep, in that way. So when you're dealing with the sexuality and all of this, that for that you also have to be relaxed. This is a message to men that I cannot say that too often, and I've been repeating this in my videos. And I don't even know where to get started now with this, because it's such a big mountain of information. What I see on the internet, I see these men, they're complaining, they're getting mad that the women don't trust anymore. They don't want to, because they don't want to get murdered. I hope that makes sense. You know, so many women are getting murdered, you know, and date raped. I've been date raped twice, and it it becomes rape when you say no, and they push it anyway. So that's technically rape. It's not a violent. It's not in a violent way, but you know, anything from that to actual violence and murder is happening. These kind of things are happening. So many women constantly murdered by men. So right there, this is the answer. That's the answer to them. Why women, you know, they're they're complaining and they don't know why women are. They're not trusting anymore. They don't actually meet guys anymore. Many don't. So that's the reason why. And also, you know, even if it's not that violent physically, there's still, you know, this psychological pressure that men put women under because they want, and they can't control themselves in any way. That the urge is so overpowering, apparently, that they don't consider the woman's time span to warm up and to relax. You know, for us, it takes time to relax, particularly when we meet someone for the first time. We need to relax. And it would be really awesome to meet someone a few times without getting into that, without becoming all sexually involved in all of this, but just meeting someone and checking that person out and seeing, is that someone I feel comfortable with? Do we share any kind of emotional things or mental things? Is there common ground? Are we interested in the same things, the same subjects? Do we have the same goals that we move towards? These are important things, very important things for creating a relationship. And even if it's just a one-time encounter or something, it's still, the woman still takes a much longer time to evaluate the situation and feel relaxed. We have to feel physically relaxed and psychologically relaxed. Very important. That's why I always tell women on the internet, do an ethics test with the boy or man that you meet, or that you have a crush on, or you are interested in, and he's interested in you. Do an ethics test with them. Ask them the question, would you run after a puppy dog into a busy street and bring him back to safety? Would you do that? Would you risk your life to save another living innocent being, animal or human? And if they say yes right away, without any hesitation, they say, yes, of course I would do that. Feel compassion, you know, then I might be a good person. Some men, they might lie also. Watch, observe his face. You know. Become more vigilant to protect your animals, children, and yourself. Very important. And for those women in battered relationships, Take your animals and your children and run. Run with them. Get away. Get help. Get someone to help you to get your animals and children out of there, and yourself. And get far away from any kind of violent person, no matter who that is. Whether that is the boyfriend, husband, whether it's your guru or your minister or your family members, it doesn't matter. Don't accept violence. That's my message for the world. And I really hope that my videos can help at least one person or two. Maybe at least a few animals. So that would be really, really cool if my videos can help some animals and some children and some women and people in general. That would be really cool. That's why I make these videos. That's my number one reason. That's what motivates me, because I see the suffering and I feel like I have to help. I got to do something about it. With my humble, no connection means. I have no connections to media sources or people, and this is my only chance through social media to do it. This feels really, really good. And today I'm wearing White Flowers by Creed. It is a wonderful, amazing, amazing perfumer house in France. Wonderful. They make wonderful perfumes. Absolutely amazing. There's rose in it. I just read on the internet the ingredients in it. And there's rose in it, probably a white rose like the one that I picked today. And it does smell quite similar to the rose that I picked today. Very similar. It also has some other flowers in it, but I can definitely smell the white rose in it. Wonderful. Just, of course, my white rose smells the absolute best. You can't imitate that, ever. But the perfume, it comes quite close to it. Oh, it's heavenly, absolutely heavenly. I recommend the quality fragrance oils to people. I just found another company. They have some other perfumes that the other company doesn't have yet. So I want to check some of those as well, because that's my only way of getting basically some samples. I always get sample sizes, of course, like 0.33 or 0.5 or 1 ounce, and to see if I like it. And then when I like something, then I'll get a 4 ounce amount. And you get discounts, of course, if you buy larger amounts. And then they have really, really large amounts for people that are vendors and that will bottle those themselves, and or make solid perfumes or make cosmetic or whatever with this, and sell this in their own store. That's a huge market right now. All of these new companies that are getting into fragrance oils and essential oils and candle making and cream making and shampoo making and all of this. It's really nice. Helps us psychologically, physically, helps us to relax. It's really good. And it's really, really good to sit on the lawn. Make yourself a fruit blend with a blender. Get yourself a blender. It's very important. You can get a blender for $10 on Amazon. Really good blenders. And you can make a fruit blend with filtered water and fruit, and you have like a nice smoothie sorbet, like a water sorbet, fruit sorbet, and you can put some lemon into it and take that with you in a large cup. Or I use a Tupper container for that because it's nice and big. And I bring that with me in the garden, and I enjoy that smoothie sitting on the lawn, and I recommend that to other people as well. It's very pleasurable, very joyful experience. It's good for you all the way around, you know. According to Tony Robbins, you know, it's a class 1 experience, something that feels good, something that is good for you, something that is good for others, and something that is good for the whole world, that serves the greater good. So that's what we need to aim for, class 1 experiences. Very important. And I see so many people there pursuing class 4 experiences instead. They're pursuing things that don't feel good, that are not good for them, that are not good for others, and that don't serve the greater good. And why are they doing that? Why are they pursuing that? And the answer is, it's a very sad answer, is they want to be liked by their social groups. That's why they do it. So question your social groups and their social rules and their social hierarchies and so on. Question that and walk out of it. Stand alone and love yourself just the way you are. It doesn't matter what someone else says. They can talk all day long and tell me I have bad haircut, or I'm ugly or fat or this or old or this or that, or I look like a grandmother. But they can do this all day long. I know that I am extremely infinitely valuable and precious, and so are you, and so are the haters. They don't even know it. The haters don't know this. They don't know they're precious. That's why they're so mean. They don't know they're precious. They have precious. Their cells are equally precious. We're all equally precious, you know. We're equally precious no matter what the hater wears. You know, he can wear a designer outfit for $5,000. That doesn't make his body cells more precious. He can do whatever he wants to do. It does not. He can have a diploma on the wall. He can marry, I don't know, he can marry a movie star, or he can become a movie star, whatever he's gonna do to neurotically try to make himself feel better. He's still the same as everyone else. The same precious. He is precious and he doesn't even know it. And we are precious, and we're all precious. We're all equally precious. My cells are equally precious to the cells of this dandelion here, or the roses, or the birch tree, or the birds, or the squirrels, or my husband's, or my dog's, or the deer, or the other people, equally precious. It took me a long time also to come to this realization. I am equally precious, no matter what my brother says about me, no matter how much he puts me down and bullies me or looks down on me. I'm equally precious to his body cells. We're equally precious. You need to let that sink in, really. You don't have to be skinny. You don't have to win. You don't have to get a diploma. You're already equally precious. This message is probably the most important message there is. And the reason why so many people don't know that, or don't understand that, don't feel it, is because they have not been made to feel it by their mothers and fathers. When they were kids, their mothers and fathers did not love them the way they needed to love them, the way they should have loved them. So, and then we grow up and we think that we misunderstand everything. We think that love is actually success, and then you get this respect or prestige, and they think that's love. Or some people think that someone else fearing them is love. Some people think that if someone fears them, that's respect. That's not real respect. Real respect is love. Real respect is I respect someone else's boundaries and someone else's beingness. Someone else's space. Someone else's right to freedom of body and mind. That's real respect and that's real love. And most people, almost nobody, has received that when they were children. They have not received this. They have not received this mother love that we so desperately needed. Every living being, every animal, every puppy dog, every child, every horse baby, every living being, every sea otter baby, every living being desperately needs this unconditional, overwhelming mother love. This mother den, mother hen, infinitely unconditional mother love. Most humans have not received that. They have disconnected themselves from that at some point during the ape development. Yeah, it's very sad. The apes, they used to carry their babies with them wherever they went. The ape babies, they actually have this clawing effect. They claw onto the mother. That's a natural reflex. And the mother does not take them off them. The mother likes it. The mother feels this bonding, this love, this oneness. Her baby and her, they are one unit. Just like the baby in the womb is one unit. It's interesting that I just accidentally said wound. Because I always felt like the embryo inside of my womb is almost like like a wound. Existence is like a wound. That's what it feels like. And it's like a Freudian slip, sort of. So, existence. So that's why I feel so strongly about not bringing a being into existence. It's very difficult. So there's so many beings in existence already that need our attention, that need our love, that need our unconditional love, mother love. So give that, give it, give that to a puppy dog or an older dog or any animal who needs help, who needs a home, needs protection. Give that love. You don't need to put another living being into this world. It's very important. But once you have another living being, whether it's your own child or another animal being, a child from another mother, whether it is a dog mother or a human mother. So if you have a living being in your life that needs you, particularly an infant, give that unconditional love to that being. Feel the oneness with him or her. Feel the oneness with that infant being. And imagine